Welcome back to the world-famous Volo Auto Museum. We are back at Volo Auto Museum. This is in Northern Illinois. It's a really interesting location. We were here about 2 years ago, and we're back to check out a couple of new exhibits, see what's old, see what's new, the fan favorites. This place is loaded with classic cars, Hollywood cars, you name it, they have it. A lot of interesting exhibits. They have a torture museum, a lot of different things in this complex. So today we're going to walk around, we're going to check the place out, see some of the favorites, and we'll take you with. Let's go. Ticket sales are straight ahead. One of the most recent exhibits they have here is the Titanic, a tribute to the tragedy. We're going to check that out first. Tap your wrist for entry. In we go. Here's a small ship for a photo opportunity. The White Star Line exhibit starts right here. The Queen of the Ocean. Here's what some of the fashions looked like back in 1912 when the Titanic was happening. These are dresses and suits that would have been worn by first-class passengers. And it says that the women traveling first class on Titanic would be changing clothes at least 4 times a day. These over here are some of the cars from the time period. This is a 1911 Carter car. It's pretty insane, the cars that still exist in this kind of condition. This would have been pretty stylish back in the day. It says that this was the last ride, Benjamin Guggenheim, 1911 Delaney Belleville. The doomed French luxury car. It says when Titanic sank on April 15, 1912, she took with her a 1912 Renault Type CB town car, the only car listed on Titanic's manifest. Owned by 36-year-old millionaire, first-class passenger William Carter and his wife Lucille. They both survived. It says the replica as it appeared in the 1997 movie Titanic. Very one-of-a-kind car. Well, this right here is a 1912 Rolls-Royce that was owned by John Jacob Astor, who was the richest man on Titanic. This was his original car. That is incredible. Here's a tribute to Wallace Hartley's violin. He was the band leader on Titanic, and he was the one that kept playing as the ship was going down. Here's a first-class menu on Titanic. A 10-course meal. The water was 28 degrees that night. Here's some various people that have purchased cars here at Volo. It's not only a museum, but it's also a dealer of used and vintage and one-of-a-kind automobiles. Before we get to the Hollywood cars, this is the one of the many showrooms. This is a 1965 Corvette for sale for only $105,000. This is unique. This is a 1937 Ford Roadster $78,000. Here is a 1958 Cadillac Coupe for the price of $176,000 or over $2,000 a month. That is a classy automobile. Now we are in the Hollywood room, and this over here is the hearse from Terminator 3. Here is a Pep Boys roof statue. It says one of only 6 ever made. The Beverly Hillbillies Jalopy. This was a George Barris custom from the Beverly Hillbillies movie, not the TV show, but the film. It was signed by George Barris right there. The Beverly Hillbillies. No car museum can exist without a Blues Brothers car. Now, a little fun fact, all of the originals of these were destroyed during filming, but several of them were recreated as promotional cars, and this is one of those. Here is a locker display from Ghostbusters. And an Ecto 1 for Ghostbusters. Now, there's quite a few cars like this out there. A lot of car museums have them. But there were only 2 of these that were ever used on screen, and both of them are still owned by Sony Pictures. Here's a 2001 Aston Martin from James Bond, Die Another Day. Here is a Transformers Bumblebee. It's a beautiful car. Now, all these spots on the side that are made to look this car a little beat up, these were actually painted on. This car actually is not as worn as it looks. A little bit of Hollywood magic. If you've ever seen Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage, you might remember this car. This was the famous Eleanor, the Shelby. That was basically the last car that he stole in the film. He was always afraid of this car. Shelby Mustang, 1967. Here is a piece advertising the Crime and Punishment sideshow here. This is called the Brazen Bull. And it looks like they would put a victim right in here and light a fire underneath and kind of roast you like a pig. That is dreadful. Here's the Crime and Punishment sideshow. This costs an extra 2 tokens to go in, but it's pretty gory but interesting. So you just put these in here. In we go. Here is a Bonnie and Clyde car. Which looks like this one was used in the Bonnie and Clyde movie, the 1967 one, with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. There's quite a few of these cars out there too. There's a John Dillinger death mask. And a carved gun up here. He used a wood-carved gun just like this to escape from the Crown Point jail. The old Sparky electric chair. And over here we have a display for Charles Justice. It said he became the 38th person to be electrocuted in his own invention in 1911. And the first ever gas chamber called the Last Gasp from 1917. This thing is tiny. If you were in this, it probably wouldn't have really mattered if you were feeling a little claustrophobic. One of the early gas chambers. Here's something called the gibbet, or hanging cage. So it was used as a deterrent. After execution, the corpse was hung in the cage for everybody to see while the flesh rotted away. Here's some of the other older torture devices that they used to use. Could you imagine if they still used any of this stuff today? Here's a device that they would use back in the day if they were trying to get you to talk. It's a seat, and if you notice the bottom of this, that just looks horrible. There's also some against the legs, the arms, and the back. It's a little unbelievable what they used to be able to get away with back in the day. Here's one of the Iron Maidens. Some pretty horrible stuff. And no car museum can also be complete without a DeLorean from Back to the Future. And a hoverboard. Give you a look inside here. And here's a National Lampoon's Vacation car. And Chevy Chase actually used this a few years ago to do a commercial for Raising Cane's, and he signed the hood there. Oddly enough, I was there when that happened.
My honest opinion beats the hell out of the sports wagon, but I want to make you happy, huh?
Aunt Edna is still on the roof. Here's one for you Elvis fans. This is a 1974 custom-built Cadillac that was owned and used by Elvis. It said he only put 8,000 miles on this car, but he had it kind of customized so that he could have extra people in here or for storage for his stuff. Could have fit quite a few people in here. One of the King's personal cars. You can see it's got the Taking Care of Business logo right there. Now, this is Charlie Chaplin, but I have no idea what this is. This is a kind of a goofy car. It says from the J. Oberg Hollywood Cars collection. It's a little tramp. tribute to Charlie Chaplin. So I guess this is kind of an imagining. Kind of different, kind of goofy. I like it though. Grandpa Munster's Dragula. If you enjoyed the Munsters, this is probably one of my favorite things here in this museum. And if that's not cool enough, that they have the Dragula Dragster, they also have this little mini go-kart that's signed by Butch Patrick up there, Eddie Munster. They have some figures. And over here, they have the coach, the famous Munster coach. This is amazing. This is about as cool as it gets. Certainly one of my favorite pieces in here. Here is a grease car. Here is a Johnny Cash guitar car. It's like they have the fretboard of a guitar and almost a dragster. This is another J. Orberg car. Very different, very unique. And I promise you, you're not going to see anything else like this. Here's a 1949 Spartan prototype. It said it was one of the first factory-built motorhomes and the only one ever built. Let's get on and take a look. The only one in existence. It's not too bad. Looks pretty cozy. Pretty much everything you could possibly need. There's the facilities. Not too shabby. Here's a nice stop for a quick photo opportunity if you'd like to get in between the Simpsons here. And here's the lifeboat from Captain Phillips. If you've seen that movie, Tom Hanks. Seat right back there. Here's something called the Stable Mabel. So it's a military prototype. This is a drivable piano car. It's a 1915 Ford Roadster. And you could sit here and play the piano while driving down past your neighbor's house. Here is the infamous 53 Herbie from Herbie Fully Loaded. It's a 1963 Volkswagen. Volkswagen's kind of given a bad rep from Ted Bundy. Here's another strange automobile that you're never going to see anywhere else. I believe this is yet another J. Orberg original. It's a Mel's Dine-In, or Mel's Drive-In skate car, designed like a roller skate. It's quite unusual. There's some 101 Dalmatians. Here's a Cinderella coach. This is an 1892 Brougham. Original cost $1,100. Transformed into the world famous Cinderella's coach. Here is a Bugs Bunny carrot car with Goofy up there planning an attack. He's eating a carrot while driving a carrot. Here's something for you Batman fans. This is a Moxie Horsemobile. Definitely unique. If you remember these are some of the old Disneyland figure makers. A lot of zoos had these. We might have to get one of these. Gotta get ourselves a Mickey here. For those of you that might remember this process. It's magically made while you watch. And if you come here to visit, these are $10 a piece. There it is. Warm. Do remember they are very hot. It's not bad. Here's the costume that Mike Myers wore in the Cat in the Hat Dr. Seuss film from 2003. It says producers paid over $50,000 to create this costume.
Feels so hot.
Here's a few more Disney characters. And we're being invaded by the Mickey. Came out pretty good. Here's a look at a few more of the figures here. The characters. I like this one here. They also have lots of different organs and orchestras and different music that you can play. Here's a 1924 Wurlitzer style 157 band organ. You can put a token in here.
Just wait, we'll test.
Maybe I should lay out. Real close. Okay, band, hit it.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
gonna rock around the clock tonight. 25 rides on a noisy fun. We'll have some fun tonight. Right one, we're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Gonna rock till the broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, you will then start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till the broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. In the session, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The next exhibit we have here is called Jurassic Gardens. This is an add-on to the visit, but I believe it's one of the more new exhibits that they have. So we'll go in and check that out now. The adventure begins here. This is a world of animatronic dinosaurs. No shortage of dinosaurs in here. And they also have some of the dinosaur molds over there. Looks like their tails are wagging. Says that this is a Dilophosaurus, name meaning a parrot lizard. Gotta be a little bit careful so you don't get slapped with the tail as you walk by. That could easily happen. Here's one over here protecting a nest of dinosaur eggs. Crossing under the bones. Now we're back in showroom 5. Here's a 1940 Ford Custom. $79,998. That's pretty classic. Here's a car that was rated the most dangerous car in LA by TMZ. This was Britney Spears' 2006 Mercedes-Benz on sale for $69,998. Britney's Benz. This looks like Homer Simpson's car on the rotating showroom floor. And a donut in the car. A 2018 McLaren Spider at $182,000. Here is a $500,000 1997 Lamborghini Diablo Roadster. I actually had a Matchbox car of this as a kid. A $500,000 Lamborghini. And over here is one that's even more expensive, $950,000. 1989 Countach. Only 650 were produced. $1 million car. This is a 1988 limousine that was used by Donald Trump. There's a picture of him up here in the limo. A prototype, one of two, factory built, known as the Executive Edition. Owned by Trump until 1999. Here's a car that was used by Princess Diana. This is incredible. And this is Nicolas Cage's motorcycle from Ghost Rider. No, that's not Nick still on it. Pretty cool, though. This place is absolutely incredible, and I highly recommend a visit. There is so much to see here, so many different exhibits, Hollywood cars, cars for sale, history, you name it. It is well worth the visit. But that's all there is for today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.